Straight ahead on Valley News Live at 10, see how a story we did last night is already leading to changes at one Fargo intersection. Plus,
we have 650 more kids this year. That is almost 2 schools worth of kids.
Hear why West Fargo parents say the city's booming growth is causing them some headaches.
And see how Minnesota schools are being impacted by the spike in COVID-19 cases and what some school leaders are doing about it. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Stacy Van Dyke.
And I'm Justin Betty. After our recent bitter cold today, it felt like spring across the valley, at least by our standards. First Alert Team Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson is here to tell us how much longer these temps will stick around. Hutch.
Thanks, Justin. Thanks, Stacy. And good evening, everyone. Temperatures today for most of the day were a good 30 to 35 degrees warmer than yesterday. And that warm up continues into our evening. Our temperatures remain near 40 in Jamestown at this hour. Now, it is cooler in northwest Minnesota. We do have some low 20s there, upper 20s in Lakes Country, 25 in Fergus Falls. Here's a look at the radar. And we are starting to see a little bit of snow out in western Stutsman County towards Streeter and out into the Kidder County area, rather, as that snow makes its way off to the east. It could coat the roads with a little bit of slippery, but a look at the DOT camera out there showing some pretty hazy skies nonetheless. The snow won't be widespread tonight, just hit and miss. We'll have temperatures tonight that'll be steady to slowly falling, with a north wind that'll be light. The clouds will be on the increase, and we do have some big time changes in the offing as we head into our late week. A more potent winter system is going to make its way in. It's a first alert weather day. I'll have hour by hour details coming up here on all of this in just a few minutes.
All right, lots to keep our eye on.
We're learning new information tonight about a rollover crash near Larimore. First responders took one woman to the hospital with a head injury after they say she rolled her car on Highway 2. Highway Patrol says it happened around 4 this afternoon, 10 miles north of Larimore. They say the roads were icy when 42-year-old Rayanne Vivier was driving from Rolla to Grand Forks. Highway Patrol says she was going about 65 miles per hour when she lost control of the car, went through the median and rolled. She was taken by ambulance to Altru to be treated for a head injury. 3 others in the car, including a 1-year-old boy. None of them were hurt. The crash is under investigation.
Authorities have released the names of the people involved in a deadly rollover Saturday near Jamestown. The driver of the pickup who died was 69-year-old Dennis H. Crow of Upton, Wyoming. The passenger, 26-year-old Dennis D. Crow, was also injured in that crash. State police believe icy road conditions played a role.
New for you tonight at 10 as West Fargo continues to grow. Some schools in the district are reaching capacity, and the district is proposing adjusting its boundaries to make up for the changes.
Tonight, parents had a chance to give their thoughts on the issue at a meeting at Aurora Elementary. Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor was there and has our story.
We are growing at an unbelievable rate.
West Fargo Public Schools is proposing boundary changes after unprecedented growth. The district has already exceeded its expectations for incoming students for the year.
We have 650 more kids this year. That is almost 2 schools worth of kids.
But some parents have gone through boundary changes in the past and are not happy about it happening again.
It's hard. It's a really emotional thing, both for parents and for kids. You know, we purchased a house based upon what school our children would be in, and having kids spread out throughout the district, we've been through this.
The boundary changes will impact nearly 300 students attending Aurora, Freedom, and Independence elementary schools. The proposal would also shift some students at Liberty Middle and Cheyenne high schools. These changes could even break up students in the same household, and many parents are worried losing connections and experiences.
But I've got a high schooler, I've got a middle schooler, and I've got an elementary kid. My baby wants to be like his big brothers, and we're not moving. So to him, he says, why can't I be a Mustang mommy? That's what my big brothers are.
Other concerns were brought up, including the possibility of another boundary change within the next 5 years for those who will be affected by this current proposal. That answer is no, but it's not ruled out for other areas in the district in the future.
We try to ensure that there's equitable class sizes, equitable experiences for our students, and if we exceed capacity at any building, then we really have to look at what we can do to relieve that school.
As it stands, come this fall, those nearly 300 students would switch to attend Heritage Middle and Horace High if the proposal is approved by the school board. In West Fargo, Nisha Taylor, Valley News Live.
And the school board is expected to vote on this proposal at their meeting on January 24th. That meeting also open for public comment.
Also, new for you tonight, at this point, voters in East Grand Forks won't get the chance to weigh in on a proposed 1.25% sales tax. In tonight's city council meeting, Mayor Cerned, he's proposing a 1% increase over 20 years.
5 of the most dangerous intersections in North Dakota can be found in either Fargo or Grand Forks. But what are city officials doing to keep you and other drivers safe at them? Well, the intersection at the top of the state's list is 45th Street and 13th Avenue South in Fargo, which city officials say has been on their radar for a long time, but they can't really make it any safer than it already is. However, city officials say because of our story we did last night, one safety change was already made this morning, the intersection at 45th and 23rd Street South.
I saw the story last night and I realized that that intersection should get modified.
The morning and evening commute, drivers will now only be able to turn left when the arrow allows. Gordon also says the city's applied for a grant to take the medians out at the intersection, eliminate blind spots, those turning left. However, he says that change likely won't happen until the year 2026.
Noticed any empty shelves at your favorite grocery store lately? Customers across the country say they're having trouble finding milk, bread, meat, and other essential food items. Grocery store managers say worker shortages caused by a surge in COVID cases are causing logistical issues and delaying deliveries. On top of that, recent weather emergencies, specifically in the Midwest and Northeast, have impacted deliveries and restocking.
Many schools in Minnesota are struggling with staff shortages thanks to the rise in COVID-19 cases.
Mariel Moe spoke to concerned parents, and some expressed worry about last-minute changes to in-person learning.
Osseo Schools is one of the districts that's been hit hard by the COVID staffing shortages. A teachers union representative told us that 593 teachers called out sick last Friday, which is about 17% of their total staff. We are now in the second week of school since students returned back from winter break, and it's in the middle of a COVID surge of the Omicron variant. Minnesota hit a record high positivity rate last week. I spoke with a parent who has 2 kids at the Hopkins School District and another at a charter school in St. Paul. Since returning back to the classroom, he says all his kids have switched to wearing KN95 masks to feel safer because his kids are seeing the impacts of just how contagious this current variant is.
Wednesday, which was the 3rd day of school back from winter break for all 3 of my kids, all 3 were notified of potential exposures. My son, who's at the charter school in St. Paul, they decided to go distance learning just to be safe because there was a confirmed case in the classroom. He's in a very small class. With my 2 kids that are in Hopkins, both reported at least half of the students out in classes to begin winter break.
Minneapolis's mayor has been outspoken on keeping kids in school despite the surge.
Just last week, Governor Walz secured $1.8 million for at-home tests to be distributed at schools, though they're not available quite yet.
Governor Walz is now incentivizing vaccines for children ages 5 to 11. Children in that age group will be eligible for $200 Visa gift cards if they're vaccinated in January or February. You can find more information on our website. Just click on this story. And this spring, there will be drawings for 5 $100,000 Minnesota College scholarship drawings for 5 to 11-year-olds in the state.
The federal Justice Department's awarded North Dakota's court system nearly $1 million for a project meant to reduce delays in criminal case processing. The 3-year project will study how issues like poverty, mental health, and geography impact the time it takes to solve or resolve a case. It comes as North Dakota faces a staff shortage in the state crime lab. They've lost 8 of their 23 employees just in the last 2 years. Flags in Minnesota will be flown at half-staff tomorrow in honor of firefighter Timothy Kath. Tim was a firefighter from Tinton, Minnesota, just south of Wahpeton. He passed away back in late December at Sanford in Fargo after contracting COVID-19. A visitation will be held tomorrow in Lidgerwood from 9 to 10:30 in the morning, followed by the burial. Valley News Live will be there. We'll bring you coverage throughout the day on air and online. Still to come on Valley News Live at 10, see why our winter freeze has not helped ice fishing conditions in many places.
Overnight lows this morning were bitter cold, near zero for most, some of us below zero, but it warmed up nicely today. In fact, we still have temperatures that are near 40. We'll have hour-by-hour details on some hitches in the proverbial giddy-up. Your forecast is next.